Hey guys, and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight with me, Leah Heilpen, the show where we speak to entrepreneurs, innovators, and thought leaders in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain space. Joining me today is Matthijs de Vries, the founder and CTO of AllianceBlock, the company aiming to bridge traditional finance with decentralized finance. And before we jump in, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. And let us know in the comment section below who you want us to interview next and which topics you want us to cover. Matthijs, great to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
Great to be here. I'm great. I hope you're doing great as well.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And you have a really interesting project that I'm really excited to delve into. But first, tell me a little bit about you and how you got into this space.
Yeah, so my name is Matthijs de Vries. I'm 35. I'm the CTO and founder of AllianceBlock. I have been in software development since a very young age, around 11, 12 years old, and have been developing software, managing software development companies and projects in enterprises for most of my career before I went into a smaller company where I was leading AI products. And there I got familiar with blockchain technology. And during this time, I got so hooked that I started to see also the problems that were plaguing the space. And when I met Rashid, the CEO and other founder of AllianceBlock, we were like, okay, we have to solve this together. We were so in sync, and that's how AllianceBlock was born in 2018 already.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it, where you just sort of fall down a rabbit hole and then it all sort of goes from there and there's no looking back whatsoever. But tell me a little bit about AllianceBlock. What do you guys do and what problem, of course, does it solve?
Yeah, certainly. So at the heart of AllianceBlock, it's our vision to connect traditional finance markets, or TradFi, with decentralized and digital assets markets. And this is DeFi, in order to bring new financial opportunities to both of these worlds and building the foundation for the next generation of investment banking. We have decided to divide our blockchain-agnostic layer 2 protocol into multiple modules. And each module is capable of being a standalone product, generating its own revenue with its own targeted market niche. However, each module fully interconnects with the rest of the ecosystem in order to create the world's first globally compliant, decentralized capital market, which will provide the first fully audited and regulatory compliant gateway for retail, institutional, and professional investors alike. So we have defined the following 7 modules: cross-border regulatory compliance rule engine, a compliant peer-to-peer and NFT lending, borrowing, and investment protocol, an on-chain investment data API, the DeFi investment terminal, derivative and structured product pricing engine and risk analytics, and trustless KYC, AML, and reusable identity verifications, and of course the data tunnel, scheduled to be launched quite soon.
So a lot of stuff, and I think it's really interesting because you're really trying to merge those two worlds. So talk to me about the size of this opportunity, because I think it's going to be quite a big step, not just for our space, but for traditional finance as well.
Yeah, definitely. You see, one of the biggest problems that hinder institutional money to come to the decentralized world of investment in security tokens is, of course, compliance with regulations. But most importantly, blockchain-based implementations offers no recourse or dispute mechanisms. So now imagine a regulatory or compliance layer that is plugged into the Central Security Depository, or CSD. When you, for example, have a share sitting on the CSD, you create a token. See it as a derivative of the shares. So this token can be shared in a decentralized market. And at each transfer, it will communicate with the CSD, and as a result, each trade will be compliant. As the cross-border regulatory checks are done pre-trade, like this, institutional deal with security as they always do. but there is now this extra layer that benefits from blockchain. And this is just one step to bridge the worlds of TradFi and DeFi, and is part of the core solution that we're proposing. And there are many projects out there that are currently offering a bridge between DeFi and TradFi. But then we've seen a lot of them, and they're coming, and they only focus on either increasing liquidity or improving interoperability. And these are definitely issues that need to be resolved in order to bridge DeFi with TradFi, but it will not be enough in order to realize a true bridge between the two. And in order to be successful in this ambition, you will need to also look into regulations, data provisioning, identity verifications, etc., etc. And this is why our protocol is so needed. It doesn't just focus on one thing. It focuses on all issues that hinder TradFi entering DeFi.
Yeah, and it's a big step essentially in this direction. You talk about regulatory issues, and I think those are some of the biggest things, especially which sort of seem like a hurdle for those in the traditional world to sort of wrap their heads around and understand how they can actually sort of enter this space essentially. So I find that really interesting, and we'll definitely be following how that all plays out. But in terms of your partners, you have actually managed to get some really big players on board like Chainlink, Binance, Smart Chain. So what actually makes Alliance so attractive to these partners?
Well, you see that serious players in both DeFi and TradFi, they are really ready for a solid bridge between the two. And AllianceBlock is not just building the protocol that will be that bridge, but is building it in a way that it will be beneficial for all in both industries. It's not about the bridge between AllianceBlock and traditional finance. It's about an ecosystem consisting out of organizations from both DeFi and TradFi that have something meaningful to offer that can be beneficial to the other. And the protocol allows them to interact with each other without other hindrances like lack of liquidity, insufficient data, and lack of cross-border compliance with regulations. And in the end, it's not about one feature or one service that has access to more liquidity and or data, but the potential for a whole new range of startups or maybe even a new sub-industry building innovative products in a transparent, trustless, but compliant manner, while being able to integrate many of the innovative solutions. And these innovative solutions, we have seen many of them in DeFi in the past few years, but they are not ready to interact with TradFi. And why is AllianceBlock so attractive? These partners see the full potential of this bridge, and they want to contribute to the real-world impact this bridge can bring.
Absolutely. And you also have a really interesting collaboration. When I was reading about this, I was thinking, wow, that's pretty cool, with the London Stock Exchange. So tell me about this. What on earth is happening here?
It's definitely an amazing milestone, and will bring a lot of new opportunities indeed. This agreement to join the London Stock Exchange Group's partner platform, or LSEG, is a major milestone for us, definitely. And there are two core benefits. So primarily, joining the partner platform enables AllianceBlock to reach institutional clients over LSEG's global innovation network. And this is eventually a door opener to the capital from TradFi to DeFi. And it offers LSEG's connected client community of investment firms, sell-side brokerage, data, and technology vendors the ability to access AllianceBlock directly over their existing connections to LSEG. And secondary, the agreement to join the London Stock Exchange Group's partner platform is a clear message to our community that it ultimately proves that AllianceBlock is capable to reach agreements with leading traditional finance institutions. And one of the greatest challenges to bridging institutional finance with the new digital assets class is ensuring that access to decentralized markets is trusted, secure, and meets globally trusted industry standards. And this is what AllianceBlock protocol is all about. And TradFi institutions see that value in our protocol. And for DeFi, this means that massive amounts of capital can flow into the space, and which will surely be beneficial for early DeFi adapters and investors. And the best thing is that the benefits of decentralized finance, such as trustlessness, will not be compromised. This is a major aspect of our technology, allowing TradFi to enter DeFi while keeping the promises of decentralization.
And I think a world like that is something that we all aspire to see, essentially. But, partnering and collaborations with these kind of institutions like the London Stock Exchange, you're absolutely right. It really does add that credibility, and, people can take this seriously and trust it, like you said. But just moving on, I do want to get a little bit more technical with you. So tell us about your liquidity mining program, because you actually have some very attractive APYs. So how are you guys actually able to achieve this?
Yeah, the liquidity mining program has been very successful from since the launch immediately, and we couldn't be more excited about the liquidity mining program. The liquidity locked in our pools has been more than 13 million US dollar, which is an amazing result. It speaks for the trust in the product that we've built, and it also shows that we can offer very attractive APYs to liquidity miners. And the multi-asset pools that we've created together with our partners Frontier and Ocean Protocol have been a total success, and the respective communities embrace them as well. Our APYs have been attractive for a long time. There's a range of liquidity pools with ALBT included that are attractive and spread out over different blockchains as well. Having our liquidity mining program on Binance Smart Chain available, for example, helps those looking for lower transaction fees, quicker transaction times. And we have learned that because of our liquidity mining program on Binance Smart Chain, many users have experienced Binance Smart Chain for the first time. They liked it and have started to be more active in that ecosystem as well. So the benefit of our liquidity mining program is that you're not just investing in pools with anonymous founders. We're not anonymous founders, but in a project that is fully audited by CertTech, a leading security company in the blockchain industry, fully transparent, highly respected in the digital asset space, and we will still be here after the next 5 years. And the great news is, with regards to the liquidity mining program, is there are going to be many more upgrades in the work for the liquidity mining program, like the addition of several new protocols, single-sided liquidity provisioning with impermanent loss protection, and of course our liquidity mining as a service program, which will see integrations with projects like DAO Maker and Plasma Finance.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting because, like you said, we need this. It's so refreshing to sort of hear that there aren't going to be any anonymous founders. There's not going to be any rug pulls, because I think this is something particularly in DeFi that has created a terrible name for itself. So this is refreshing, to say the least. It's great to hear.
Thanks.
But you also have your own token, ALBT. Tell me about it. Where does its value come from? What's its use case?
Yeah, that's a very important question, actually. So the ALBT token is basically the gas that powers the AllianceBlock ecosystem. And in order to achieve high levels of intra-ecosystem liquidity and to ensure enhanced viability of the network, the ALBT token fulfills the following function: medium of exchange, means of rewards, currency reserve of the ecosystem treasury pool, network fees payment, data access and query payment, voting and delegating of voting power, staking, and network participant rating. So with design, the ALBT token fulfills a number of critical functions that ensure ongoing demand of that's correlated to the ecosystem growth. I believe that the well-designed token economics are essential to supporting actual utility of the token, which can be found on our website, AllianceBlock.io.
And your data tunnel MVP, so that's supposed to be released soon, and I understand that sort of coincides with the token. So talk to me about this and tell me, why is this going to be such an interesting milestone for you?
Yeah, so in the past few months, we have worked relentlessly on the development of the AllianceBlock data tunnel. And after we've announced a partnership with Ocean Protocol, we worked on a prototype that got vetted by Ocean, and it was followed by a grant from the Ocean Shipyard program, the highest then to date. And early February this year, we completed the proof of concept of the data tunnel. And while this is not really a release-ready version, it was a major technological milestone for the data tunnel. We've immediately continued with the MVP, which is scheduled to be released by the end of March this year, so pretty soon. And will be available as a production-ready service, so on mainnet and ready for companies and data providers and consumers to integrate. That will immediately come with the innovative front end, the introduction of the proprietary ABQL querying language, and the user-friendly way of blockchain interactions. And the data tunnel, it has a couple of key concepts of its foundation. It's easy to publish any type of data, like CSV, XML, or JSON. It's easy to consume any type of data, either manually or programmatically. Data from the data tunnel, it's predictable, and you can query data dynamically. And the data tunnel is scalable and allows decentralized access control. And with the proof of concept, we've managed to create a platform that is able to accept any of the major data formats that are stored in an extremely scalable way through a serverless infrastructure in one default format. It's easy to store, update, and query. And users are incentivized to share data as they can monetize their data while also remaining in control of the access at all times. And along with Ocean, through the data tunnel, we are well en route to keep fulfilling our vision to connect TradFi with DeFi. And the data tunnel will be the first of a number of products that will simplify compliance with financial regulations. And furthermore, the data tunnel will bring immediate utility to the ALBT token, and benefiting for both. This is benefiting for both data publishers and data consumers, because there are a number of actions that necessitate the payment of receiving ALBT, including data query. Each request for data is paid in ALBT tokens. The dataset generation. There's, for example, more complex data query that will command a higher fee normally that's payable in the ALBT token. The data collection for integrated streams that's incentivized with ALBT, but also for data storage, processing, redistribution, analysis, replication, extraction, validation. So ultimately, the data tunnel will become the oracle of oracles. And with partnerships like Chainlink, API3, DIA, Covalent, Parsec, I think it should give you a good idea of where we are heading with the data tunnel.
I got it. I think this is such an interesting space. It's so interesting to see all these collaborations, the move into the traditional world, and just to see how far this really goes. I'm so excited. I think it's really, really interesting. So with all of that in mind, then tell me where and how are things going to look in the next 5 to 10 years for you guys?
Yeah, so in the next 5 to 10 years, we will have a really strong ecosystem in both traditional finance world and the decentralized finance world. And we will not really speak about where these worlds separate, but we will speak more on how these worlds integrated. And AllianceBlock will have played a decisive and very big role in order to achieve that.
Matthijs, it's so good to have you on the show. I want to thank you so much for coming on, and it's been such a pleasure learning more about AllianceBlock. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely to be here.